Hello everyone! And I'm back again here. I am so sorry I've been gone for 2 weeks. I'm so sorry. I've had quite a few exams cropping up in the last 2 weeks. I've had quite a few exams, so I had to study for those instead of having fun recording videos. Even though I only record one video a week, still one video a week is pretty enormous to do. My computer is very bad, and yeah. Well, the reason why I'm using this bad camera instead of my phone like I usually do nowadays is because today we're going to be doing something pretty special today, if you cannot already tell by the title. For those of you who don't know me personally, I'm a scout, and I'm also a survivalist. And I know that some of you, when you hear the word survivalist, you think of like those crazies who live out in the woods or who make these gigantic underground bunkers filled with enough fertilizer for months and months on end. No, that's not what I do. I am pretty much on stuff that is actually helpful. Because survivalism, I just like doing survivalism. It's my little hobby of mine because I just find it this interesting, especially that it goes well with scouts. Because you may not think but scouts, me Boy Scouts. So Boy Scouts and survivalism have got a lot of things in common actually, and a lot of the skills you learn in survivalism and in scouts can actually help you in other stuff, like in camping, for example, which is where we're going to get to this. I found this app one day called Survival Backpack, and basically it's an app on your phone that you can download. Oh, right. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Light level. Okay. Anyway, yeah. It's basically this app on your phone that gives you like a list of everything that they say you need for an adventure. So I'm not gonna lie, I already went through it and I deleted anything that I thought was unnecessary. So in here normally should be only things that I find is necessary for me. Now of course you could have different stuff that you might need, which is why you could add more things, which I did actually. But yeah, so let's go in through my version of it. And so I was thinking at first, so of course we're gonna need a bag to show off. Now I was thinking at first to take my scout's bag. I emptied it out, normally of everything important. It's got one small pocket at the front, one slightly bigger pocket here, and here another slightly bigger pocket, and here an even bigger one, and then it finishes off with the big one at the top. So yeah. Sorry. My Swiss Army knife. Well, one of them. We'll get to that afterwards. So yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. I like it. But no, today I will have to take out the mother load, which is this. This here is my camping backpack. If ever you see me out and about on a camping trip, I will usually have this around me. Yeah. It's quite big with a lot of pockets in it. So first of all, here you've got this little side pockets that I will be using. Then here you got these little straps to add stuff on. And then when you take it off, you've got one side pocket, and you've got the same side pocket on the other side, which I'll be closing up. Then of course at the front you've got the big pocket at the front. Yeah, nothing left in it. Then actually here inside of it you've got this little pouch to put stuff in. Then actually inside here, this compartment here, you can actually open the top off, and you've got some stuff in it. You can put some stuff in it. And then afterwards, you've got this bottom compartment here, which is actually connected to the rest of it. It's that way in case that your bag, you find it up like this, or if you've got an object that's down at the bottom, you can immediately just take it out without having to rummage through the entire top part, even though it does open up sideways like this. Still, when you close it off, yeah, okay, so then you got like these little straps all around to like connect stuff to it if you want, and then to finish it off, you just lock it up like this. And so yeah, that's just not used to. So yeah, this is my backpack, which we're going to be using today to experiment. And then I just picked up everything that was on the list, plus some exercises I'll be talking about in here, into this pile. So let's open it up. Okay. So the first thing, yeah, I'll be sitting up for this one. I will not be I'll be sitting up. I'll be standing for this one. I can't sit actually right now. So, first thing is clothes. Now, I made this because one of the things you can do is you can change the amount you want. I did this for 3 days, so it should be enough stuff to last for 3 days. So, the first thing is that I put was pants. No, and it's not like it was pants like it was bands, no. Like actual pants. Which I've got here. So, 1, 2, and then this third one actually is one of my swimming trunks. That way you can actually swim. Or go and take a shower if you want. If you're one of those weirdos that take a shower with swimming trunks on. I mean, I understand it if you're with people, although if you were to take a shower you would not want, unless it was like a public bath, in which case yes do, but if you were at home, why would you? Anyway, socks now. So socks, I should have organized this better. Anyway, yeah, here I can only find one pair of socks for a moment. But yeah, socks. They can also fit here into the top compartment. Then a shirt, and not just this one. In for shirts. Here we are. So I here have got 3 shirts that will fit nicely here at the bottom. I always like to put the clothes first as padding underneath for the other stuff. Then long trousers. For me, my favorite long trousers are of course jeans. Short trousers, which is this right here. Then a waterproof jacket. Now this here is my waterproof jacket. It's slightly big, although I like it that way. Yeah. I absolutely love this, by the way. So, into the bag it goes. Always try to compress it as much as possible. Then hat or cap. Now this one will be the first where we switched up a bit, because depending on which season you're doing, you'll be choosing different ones. But I'll just be putting them all in just in case. So already here I've got this beanie that I got in Skellig Michael in Ireland. Can you actually read that? Skellig Michael, War on the Rocks. Because yeah, if you didn't know, Skellig Michael, it's an island off the coast of Ireland. It's an island off the coast of Ireland where they actually filmed scenes from Star Wars, The Last Jedi, the ending of Force Awakens, and The Rise of Skywalker. It's the island where Luke is. But also, if we were to go into summer, I would ever have two types of caps. I would have like this cap right here, which is a bit flat, which is why I don't like to use it, although I do like the front part a lot. But that is not my main cap. My main cap is this one, which I got in a military surplus store. I absolutely love this. Yeah. And plus, one of the great things about this is that it's very small and it is very compact. I'm also going to put this in, but by far my favorite one is of course my Scout's hat. So yeah, I always like to do that. Like, I always like to put all my hair up, because my hair actually is starting to become quite long. I like to put my hat up like this to hide it. So of course when you look at this, and then I always like to go boop. I'm going to put this here on the side, because that I would actually be wearing whether we were in summer or in winter. But actually my favorite one here is a cap, because it hides the entire hair. If you put it like this, like it barely fits because it has to contain all that hair. And then there's a reason why they tell you to shave your hair when you go into the army. Because this does not work with the hats. Then the jacket. Now, in that case, wait, I'm just going to put this here to the sides. Now, jacket. This is my spring, summer, and autumn jacket. Classy. Well, I find it to be classy anyway. But yeah, that would be what I would be wearing almost all the time, except if, and this is a big if, we were in winter. In which case, if we were in winter, I would be using this big monstrosity. This is an extremely thick winter coat. But yeah, with pockets and everything on the side, yeah. So, yeah. Let's also put that here to the side. And the final item is gloves. Now, I've got a confession to make. I do not have gloves. The only thing that I do have that are gloves are these pair of working gloves, which of course are very important whenever you want to work. Duh. They're called working gloves for a reason. Yeah, whenever you're doing any sort of like gardening or whatever, these here are extremely important. I cannot tell you the number of times I've used these when I go out to scouts. So, and these ones are also quite old, which is why they're a bit dirty. They've been a bit unlike, for contrast. I think that's a good idea. But yeah. Always keep a good pair of work gloves. And also get yourself an actual pair of gloves. Don't be an idiot like me. And that's everything that I put in the clothes section that I kept. Now onto the next one, which is electronics, which is interesting actually because this here is supposed to be for 72 hours. That's basically the whole idea behind this. Okay. But I don't see why you would need electronics except for probably stuff for your phone. But anyway, I digress. So the first thing on our list is flashlights. Now I've got tons of different sort of flashlights, ranging from this headlight over here, if you go out camping or any stuff, or if ever you're in a survival situation, a headlamp is very important at night, because one of the things is that, first of all, it's directional immediately. You will always have it facing whichever way you look. But also, secondly, and most important of all, it will keep your two hands free, so you can actually be working while also getting light. So always keep one of these. Actually, keep multiple ones if possible. Especially like keep one in your car. That way, if ever your car breaks down in the middle of nowhere at night, you can actually see and actually repair your car. So yeah, this here, it's quite important, so I'll be putting it into the top compartment here for easy access. Yeah, basically the stuff that you want that's very quickly, you should always like keep it closer to the top or in a separate compartment. Then the second thing is mobile phone. Now, always keep a very good phone with you that's always fully charged if possible. Speaking of which, a mobile phone charger. Charger for a mobile phone. Which is where this comes in. This is my actual charger that I have. So just normal power brick, and then here USB Type-C. Very important. This here I'll also be putting it in the top compartment. Then headsets. Now, with headsets, that's where I like to have fun, because I've got multiple different headsets. Like, I have got this headset right here, which is my main headset. If ever you see me out and about and I'm listening to music, I'll almost 99% of the time I'll be wearing these ones. Excellent headsets, and it also came in with its own cable. Not too, because these are powered by Bluetooth, but if ever Bluetooth runs out, you do have a male-to-male adapter 3.7mm jack cable. Because yes, my phone still has jack output. Come at me, everyone else. So these here, this actually you'd actually be wearing it if it were your main pair, or around your neck like that. Although in here I'll be trying to find a place to put them in. So I'll be putting them here in the main compartment, although safely. But the cables, anything that's cable or small, you want to try to separate them from the big stuff. That way it's easier to not get them lost. Anyway, afterwards you get portable speaker. Now, I don't see why you need a portable speaker, but I've actually got one right here that I do keep, and it is my speaker that I like to keep. This is a Philips speaker, but what's interesting about this is that not only is it a speaker, but it also doubles as a radio. So that is also another thing, is that you'd always want to have an emergency radio to keep in touch with the news. Although what's annoying is that it doesn't have any walkie-talkie function to it, so I can't use it like that. But still, very important. Now this actually, I'll be putting it in the side compartments here on the side. Into this one right here. Now, power bank. Now with power banks, I have got loads of different types of power banks. Ranging from small ones like this, which are good. They don't keep a lot of charge. They can charge your phone probably like once, depending on the phone. Very easily, not that expensive. Always fun to keep. But then you've got slightly better ones, like this one, which also, the reason why I like to keep it is because it can also be powered by solar energy, because it's got this big solar power on the front. These ones here I love. If ever I were to go out, like, I would just hook this up like this to the front. Come on. What's wrong with it? I will hook it up. Come on, pass through. Why is this so challenging? Yeah, this is very cheap. You can clearly see it's very cheaply made, but still. Can it pass through? There we go. So yeah, you just keep it there dangling at the front. You try to like make sure it doesn't get out, like doesn't get stuck. You'd like make sure it's well put in, and then yeah, it will be charging while you walk. Now I actually do have got a second one, if I can find it through this big mess that I made here. Oh, goodness sake, oh for goodness sake. Ah, there it is. This one here. Now, another thing that I like about this one is that not only is it bigger and also a bit more durable, not only is it the fact that this one can charge 2 devices at the same time, but also, I don't know if you saw, but it's got 2 big lights at the front, which are quite powerful. They are quite powerful. I like, even in like broad daylight outside, you can actually still see these perfectly well. So yeah, these are very powerful. Again, you just slot this in right beside each other, but for a moment I'll be putting them inside their respective compartments. Why did I try to do this? There you go. Good. So there you go. Now, next one is MP3 player. It'll get better. The more we get, the better it will look. And the easier it will be to find stuff in it. There it is. This here is my MP3 player. Basic MP3 player. Basic, but still useful. In the top part. Now, the next one is watch. I always keep a watch on me at any times. So, that's that covered. The next part is laptop. Well, that's what they put. Although, like I said, this is supposed to be for 72 hours. So I was thinking of trying to take my laptop, but then I remembered that's what's recording it, so there's no point, actually. So yeah. Just remember, they say laptop. They say that's part, although, would you actually want to bring your laptop with you if you were going out for 72 hours? Like, I would not see me taking this thing out for 72 hours. Now, the next thing on it is food. Now, I don't really like carrying food around with me, but just know that they keep like food, which is why I'm actually going to try to keep fair bit amount of room here at the top, so you can actually put in like food in it. Because what's interesting is that most of the stuff in here I'm going to be using, like my cables and everything, but a lot of the stuff like the clothes and everything, they're actually gonna stay there. So I don't want to put in food that I might actually forget one day, and then just getting it to rot. So yeah. The next one is camping equipment, which again I am angry with myself because I actually do have got a entire cooking set made specifically for camping that I left at my mother's place. If you don't know, my parents are divorced and right now I'm at my father's place, but at my mother's place that's where I keep it, so missed opportunity. so we're gonna pack that. And sleeping bag. No, sorry. Um, Sleeping equipment. Sleeping equipment, I only kept 3 things. Sleeping bag, tent lamp, and tent. Although one of the 3, tent, I'm putting that for you if you want. Although me, I don't actually like using tents. I'm just someone who likes to use a, I know it's it can be sometimes very uncomfortable sleeping bag. Although here what I will do is that since I'm actually a good survivalist and I'm also good in the woods, I would actually be building my own shelter. Just not only save on space but also because I just find it cool. Although it is a bit annoying then because if you don't have forest or wood nearby, it's very hard. Although me, I live in Le Mans and like literally I just walk 10 meters forward and I'm off into the woods. So yeah, there's no real point in me carrying it when I could literally just make a wooden shelter. Although one thing I cannot do is sleeping bag. Now this here is my sleeping bag that I keep with me. So, actually, annoying part here is the top part. Actually, wait, did I do this wrong? I think I did it wrong. Yeah, this here is my sleeping bag. Compared to me, that's how tall it is compared to me. Try to roll up your sleeping bag better than me. Usually I would just put it and lay it flat down on the floor, but since you wouldn't be able to see me even afterwards, I have to deal with what I've got. Plus I'm rolling it up the wrong way. You roll it from top to bottom to get rid of all the air. But yeah. So I'm gonna put this last because what I will do is that I would put it right here up in between the 2 parts here and you close it up like this. So I'll be putting it last. And no, I do not like using mattresses or air mattresses. I spent so many nights in scout camps where I forgot, the first time I went to scout camp, I forgot my air mattress and so I slept on the ground, on the rugged ground for 2 weeks. Weekends. Okay. Sorry, I've got a cat. Well, there's a cat there that's playing right now and I was fixated on that. Sorry. Yeah. I had to sleep for 2 weeks on the rugged terrain, so I got used to it after a while. Hurt for the first like 2-3 nights, but then afterwards got used to it. Now, this part here, I absolutely love this. This here is survival equipment. So the first thing on the list is earplugs. Now, earplugs, I've got 2 different types of earplugs. If I can actually find it in this big heaping mess. Uh-oh. I can't seem to find it anymore. Ah, I know, it's okay. I found at least one of them. Okay. So, one thing you can do is use like these like orange ones that you find. But to me, I prefer these ones. Which were specifically made for like, I think these are made for swimming. Like these are quite long. And yeah, you just put them in. And already here it's much harder for me to hear anymore. I cannot hear like, for example, my Rage on right now. Or anything. Yeah, these are actually quite good. Now these here, I would actually put them onto the little pouches at the front. Here, into one of the little pouches that are around my waist. There we go. Next one, pocket knife. Now, for those of you who don't know me personally, you might find it slightly weird, but I have got a slight teensy weensy obsession with knives. I love knives. I don't know why. I just love them. And, wait, where did it go? Don't tell me I put it there on the pile here. So unprofessional. But again, I was never professional to begin with, so it's a bit on brand. Come on. There's one and then two. I've got a foldable knife, but I can't seem to find right now. But if ever I do find it, I will show it to you. But yeah, here is one of the knives that I like to keep. I got 3 knives in total, but one of them is missing, and the second one I will keep it for later. If ever I find my knife, which I should find it soon, I'll show it off to you. But yeah, so this here is my knife. Actually quite a good bladed knife. I actually like it. It's very satisfying. Although this one here, I like to use bristle strap here. That you can connect up like this and then you tie. So there you go, because that way I've got a knife that's dangling right there, but I can then take out in a hurry. Shoot. I'll find it later. But then afterwards, I also have got like a plethora of Swiss Army knives. No, but this is for later actually. But yeah, for example, here are 2 Swiss Army knives that I keep. So both of them, they're both going here into the waist pouches. Where's my knife? Can you imagine that if you just saw someone shrieking, "Where's my knife?" Oh, I forgot this. This here is my biggest Swiss Army knife. I mean, just, there you go, no more reflection. This here is a absolute beast of a Swiss Army knife. Which is actually going to be going into the top pocket. It's annoying you cannot find my knife. But anyway, yeah. If ever I find it afterwards, I'll show it to you. Second one is compass. Now, I do not have a compass formula by myself. I've got a compass app on my phone, and I've got a couple of smaller and frankly worse compasses. But yeah. Where on earth? Where is it? I'm losing everything. Here it is. So I've got this here, for example. This right here is a whistle with a little compass on the front. Of course, it's a very bad whistle. I'm usually actually quite good with directions. I know how to locate myself with the sun. Rises in the east and sets in the west, and my room is south. I mean, no, literally, like, if you were to check, not with this one, of course, but if I were to check with my watch, south is directly forward there. So yeah, so this here, actually, this whistle, actually, if I were to untie this knot that I make, yeah, I'm actually quite good with knots, so one of the things I like to do to entertain myself is just to tie knots. Yes, I tie knots to entertain myself. I would actually wear this around me. That way, whenever I need to, I would have whistle. Plus, that way I've also got my compass with me. Yep. It's not that good, but still, it is very good to attract attention. Then, lighter. I'm just gonna put this and just put it into my pocket for now. So, lighter. Now, normally I should have 2 lighters, and I already found one, but I want to show you the second one if possible. There it is. That's for later. So, I've got like this normal big lighter right here. But my favorite one is this lighter right here. This is a, like, I think it's a propane lighter or something like that. And look at that flame. Look how cool the flame is. you can't see it. But yeah, I love the sound it makes. Both of these here are going into the waist pockets. Then next one is matches for when your lighter no longer works, which is where this little thing comes in. Now this here, one of another side projects of mine is to make Altoid survival tins. This here is my fire starter survival tin. I don't know if you can see with a reflection, but I've got a lighter here. I got some string that I can burn. I got 2 cotton balls, and underneath that I've got waterproof matches. So yeah, this is my fire starting kit, which will also go into the waist pockets. Anything that's small and that I can use very quickly, I will be putting it into my waist pockets. So now the next one is binoculars. Now binoculars, it's different than the others because my binoculars have got their own like special like satchel, and yeah, I don't know why you would need binoculars, but I love these. I've had these since I was a child. My grandfather gave them to me when I was like 10, and I've had them for 5 years now. Wow. Still always as cool. Can't see anything because it's too close, the TV is too close, my computer is too close. But yeah. Absolutely so good. I love these. I use these almost every time I can because these are just so cool, and I keep very good care of them. So yeah, binoculars. I'm gonna see what I can do with them afterwards, because if I cannot like take care of them afterwards, because yeah, once I finish showing and I'm packing up my bag, I'm gonna try to like carry all this stuff. If I cannot find a way to carry them, I'm not gonna use them. Next one, water bottle and flask. Now, me, I'm different than other people because I do not carry water bottles. If I can, well, except for school, of course. And if ever you see my videos, you'll see these things, crystalline bottles, which are littered around the place here. I just love those water bottles. Plus I like to use them up for recycling afterwards, so don't worry. No pollution happening here. But for longer journeys actually, I don't like carrying water bottles. In exchange, I like to carry these. Now these are called water pouches, I think. I should remember. In French they're called des poches à eau, so I should remember how they're called. Basically what you do is that you open this, you fill it up with as much water as possible. You can then put it into your bag, having this tube sticking out of your bag, and then you put it right beside you. That way whenever you want, you can drink whenever you want. Now this one is dry, of course. There's nothing in it, so I can't drink out of it, but yeah. I would just slip this into the main compartment and then just have this tube sticking out. So yeah. Let's see, how will I put this in? So already take this off. Trying to see. Okay, like this. So basically, you put this like this, and then you slip it down into it, and then you close it up. Like this. And then there we go, that's how I do it. Then afterwards I have it taking out, going through this loop, and then here. That way it's whenever I carry it. It's right beside me. I just have to pull and then I can drink. It's directly in front of me. So yeah, that's why I always have got one. Although what's annoying is the size, so if ever I can't carry it or hold it like this, I will put it through the second strap right here. I have it round like this. Doesn't really bother me all that much. It's not that cumbersome. It's not like that's gonna distract me or anything. Plus that way if ever you get bored, you get something like you can just like fiddle around with or like press or yeah. Anyway, for those that are fidgety, that is actually a great thing. But you might have noticed that I got a second one. Because this here is just like the binoculars, it comes in its own separate pouch. Like this is an actual like watcher thing you can actually carry with you. And this here, I won't be using it, but it was just to show it off basically. I could like, if I actually had like harnesses or stuff here, I could like touch it on like this. Although I already have got one which can hold up to 1.5 liters, I think. I don't need a second 1.5 liter thing. This actually is very good for like long trips. You can actually just use it and then fill it up. Let's put that to the side. And also just very quickly, no, I'm actually going to show it later. I'll show it off later. And then finally, whistle. Well, I mean, whistle right here. But as you probably heard, and I probably busted your eardrums, it's not all that good. This here, now this here is one of my favorite things I ever bought. It is a survival whistle, which is absolutely so small. Yeah, very good. This one here, I'll be putting it in the top compartment because I'll be having the whistle around me, so I wouldn't need it around my waist or anything. So now that finishes with the survival stuff. Now, first aid kit. Now, in my first aid kit, I like to keep like this little thing here. It's Exaspray because I get a sore throat very, very easily. So just spray a couple of times and then wait a little while. Now this here, I will be putting it in this compartment over here. That will be my first aid compartment. So in it goes, along with the rest of my first aid stuff, such as here it is. This here is a disinfectant and antiseptic spray. It's absolutely small. I love the fact it just like looks like a white. There you go. Can you actually see the color in it? No, there you go. Or the light in here in this room is so bad. So for those of you who are French, this is Biseptine. All you French people, you know what I'm talking about. And of course, I've got a small little packet of, if I can find it, oh there it is, of like little patches for what I disinfected afterwards. Yeah, this is like really like basics, like basic stuff. So there you go. Then hygiene and cosmetics. Now toothpaste and toothbrush. This is what I've got. This is a Colgate 2-in-1. It's toothpaste and mouthwash. And then I've got this little. Actually, let's open it and show it off. This is toothpaste and mouthwash, both in one. And then here I've got just like this small little travel toothbrush. And then in here I also like to put in my my deodorant. This is not the deodorant I use, like this is like an empty bottle. That way in case I ever forget it, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah. Oh. There we go. Okay. Okay, there you go. So this here will be going into the main compartment. And next thing is brush. Now I don't own a brush, I own a comb. I love this thing. It's the only comb I trust with my hair. For those of you who follow Instagram, if you wonder how I get my hair to do the things it does, this comb here is the answer. Because yes, I've got an Instagram, follow me on it. So unprofessional! Yeah, if you want to follow me, it's Karon Danty, Karon space Danthy. So this is also going into the main compartment. And razors. Now I own an electric razor. So yeah. Now this will be going into the side pocket here. And also here, these here. These I've taken them to every single camp I've gone to. These are wipes. Wilderness wipes. These are like wilderness wipes to they're body wipes to wash off your body, and then these are butt wipes. I use them like toilet paper actually. So yeah. So now we're gonna go on to documents. Now documents. I keep in my jacket at all times my wallet and my my passport actually, so that I don't have to take care of, and cash as well. Maps. Now maps are very, very important. This is why here I've got 3 different types of maps. So these maps right here, this map here is like the normal map you would see, like this is a Michelin map of France. From 2006, although it's not like much changes since 2006. So yeah. Oop. Okay. Afterwards, you got this one, which is specifically made to draw on. Like we're going higher and higher in quality. And then this one here, I love it, except for the fact that this is only for Paris. The reason why I love it is because it is unterrible. Like, yeah, that was just a card that was in it, by the way. Like, not teared in the slightest. But yeah, since I don't live near Paris or even 60 kilometers around Paris, I don't need it. Ooh, okay. So yeah, I always good to keep like 2 different maps with you at all times. And afterwards, me and everything that I like to add was survival books and notebooks. Now, this is the survival book that I own, which is the SAS Survival Guidebook. Handbook. Because this here is probably one of my favorite books I've ever owned. So it's going here. But also, because one of the things is that if ever you leave for 72 hours, you don't go like that for no reason. Even if you were camping, you don't usually camp all by yourself. So I keep this for my French, for anyone else who's French who cannot read English, which is this book right here. Le petit guide de survie, conseils, solutions, astuces face aux situations critiques. Actually comes into this little like plastic waterproof casing. And it's basically the same thing, but it's a bit more for urban environments. That one over there is mainly for like wilderness situations. This is more for urban situations. So I keep both of them. Also, something that they don't say, but I also find it very important, is a notebook. Now this is my field notes notebook. Absolutely love it. I've used it a bunch of times. And with that, I will usually take a pencil. A pencil. This one here, actually. This is my favorite pencil to keep. It's just a normal, like, big pencil. But yeah. Both of these go together, and so... There you go. And the main compartment it goes. So that's it for documents. Shoes. Now, shoes, I have got my normal, like, sneakers. I've also got some camping shoes, and I got some boots. But if ever I were to go out, I would probably just take my, like, trekking shoes. Like, I've got, like, some good Timberland shoes. Those are the ones I would take with me. Then non-alcoholic beverages, because I got rid of the alcoholic beverages because I'm a minor. Water taken care of, and actually that's it. There was like a bunch of different stuff, but then I deleted them all because I don't really see the point in like carrying soda or Coke, as people like to call it, colas. For only 3 days. I think that I can survive on only just water for 3 days. Yeah. And so now fun. Now you might have seen these popping up whenever I come here, but yeah. So for fun, I got this pack of playing cards. This is actually 2 pack of 52 cards in total. So yeah. The reason why I got 104 is so that way, in case I ever lose one, I've still got a second one I can still use. So normally it should be a full deck at all times. Even if I lose 1 or 2 cards, I can still play normally. So these here will be going into the side pouch here. There we go. And so now along with that I've got ball. Now this here is my ball. It's literally just a bouncy egg, a rubber egg. I absolutely love it. So this will be going into the main compartments, it's small. And finally, books. Now me at the moment, I am reading 3 books, each of them in a different language. In French, for school, I'm reading the theatre play Juste la fin du monde, Just the End of the World, by the late Jean-Luc Lagarce, or Jean-Luc Lagarce. A book I always make it a point of mine to read this book at least once a year, and I have since 2016, I think. The Martian by Andy Weir. It's one of my favorite books, which is why I read it once a year. And actually, if you were to look at the cover, you'd actually see it has been read extensively and a lot. Like, it's breaking off on the sides, and the pages themselves have been worn out and torn. Well, not torn, but are worn out. I still love the smell of it. And finally, the biggest book is a German book that I'm reading at the moment, which is Der Klon, Krieg der Klone, die Trilogie. It's by John Scalzi. Now, for those of you who don't know, actually I should get rid of this. This is what I'm using as a bookmark, by the way. Page 188. Okay, good. Chapter 11. I am a big Scalzi fan. I've read the entire Old Man's War series, and actually this is Old Man's War, the first 3 books of it. That's why it's so big. It's 3 books in one. This is the first 3 Old Man's War books. First one is Old Man's War, then the Ghost Brigades and the Last Colony, or in German, Krieg der Klone, Geisterbrigaden und die letzte Kolonie. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun reading this. This is probably one of the best things I ever bought, because I love Old Man's War. I read them in English and in French, and now I'm challenging myself to reading them in German. So yeah, in total, 3 books I'm reading at the moment here. So, can we fit these in? Probably, yay. Oh, that's starting to fill up quickly. Yay. So that's books taken care of. So very cool, that was everything that they gave. Now, everything that you see here are stuff that I bring over. Except for this. In the shelter part, or in the sleeping stuff, they said tent lamp. This is my tent lamp. It's got one mode here with a normal flashlight at the front, with 3 modes, but you put it up and it becomes a lantern. So yeah, this would actually be going here. So yeah, so now all the rest here are stuff that I like to bring along with me. First thing here is my Scouts book, my Scouts handbook called Wigwam. There you go, Wigwam. It's so old, actually. I've had it for now 6 years, I think. It's so old that actually the back part has been torn out, and it has gone through the wind, the rain, the ice, the mud, everything, every single possible disaster, not disaster, but weather condition you can find in France. Like, oh my goodness. I should take a picture of this here at the front. Oh, like the top part. Can you see that or not? Give me a sec. Yeah, anyway. Very important book to me. Man, I've got a lot of books in here, actually. So now, the rest of here. So, this here is another thing I like to keep for sleeping. Went the wrong way first. I don't think I have to explain what it is. It's a mask. It's a mask. Stupid joke. Yeah, I don't know if you say it in English, but in French those are called des masques. Well, we just call them masks. These here are my work goggles. So, very tough. Very good. Have protected my eyes from a lot of different possible scenarios. There you go. And speaking about masks here, I have my own masks here. I've got 2 black ones like this that I keep. Yeah. These are my masks. I've got 2 of them and they're washable, so whenever one's in the laundry, I always wash one and then I wash the other. But I also like to keep 1 or 2, once it's bent, surgical masks at all times. That way, if ever those 2 are like overused, I've got a spare one I can use. Now, next thing I like to keep is a towel. You saw me at the very beginning of the video. I was wearing, I showed you off my swimming trunks. Well, with it I've got a towel to go with. With the towel I prefer to keep it more at the top of it. Press down. Okay, so this here, this is a spare phone. Now the reason why I keep a spare phone, and also, there you go, a cable to go along with it, is that way if ever my main phone like breaks or it goes into water and is no longer usable, I just open it up, take out the SIM card that's in it, just open this one, take out the battery, behind the battery you put in the SIM card, put back in the battery, put back in the protection, and then you can call. That way, in case your phone ever breaks down, you've always got a replacement. So that here goes at the top pouch, right here. Feeling quite a bit heavy now. This here, I bought this 2 years ago and I do not regret it still. This is a life straw. For those who don't know what a light straw is, it is basically one of the best water filters you can get. Basically, you put in dirty water one end, and then you drink clean water out of the other end. Can filter around 1,000 liters of water. Now I haven't even filtered 10 liters with this, so in 2 years. So yeah, I think this should be good. And if you drink 1,000 liters of water and you use it up in a year, what are you doing? But yeah, anyway. This here, I would put this here into the side compartment. There it goes. Now, one of the things that I think is very important is to attract attention if ever you need it. Which is why I keep this here. Now, this here, I have to go a bit backwards because it is quite reflective. This is basically a sort of scarf or neck protection. Actually, it can serve multiple things. It is a cloth that you can use to do different things, like to protect your head or just to use it around like a makeshift scarf. Or if you've actually used all your masks, it can just be used as a bandana to make not a good mask, but at least passable one. Plus, it's reflective. It's like those like yellow vests. Gilet jaune. Only French people get that meme at this point. That's cringe. But yeah, this is absolutely great. You just roll it up into this small little thing, and yeah, you can attract attention with it. You can wave it around and anything. So always keep something that you can use to attract attention. And actually, speaking of which, I actually had a yellow vest here that I wanted to show, but yeah, it's no real point to it anymore. Now this here, this is something that I think everyone should keep, which is just a secondary bag. It was not very well kept by me. So yeah, this is basically just a big bag that you can use for just about anything you might need. I would use this to like carry stuff if my bag is full. I would use this as a secondary bag. So yeah. The annoying part is always like to close it up. So there we go. So this here would also go into the main compartment, but a bit more stuffed. Now this here, for those of you who don't know, is a ferrocerium rod or magnesium rod. Basically, you have got this rod of magnesium, you've got a scraper, and then you can light a fire. Now this one I haven't used it yet, and I don't plan on using it anytime soon, because I've got another one that I like to use. But I also like this because it's got a whistle. It's not all that good, but still. That's better than nothing. So this goes on the top there. Now again, for redundancy speaking, I've got this small little light. It barely works. It's like this small little light you can buy for very little. It's very cheap. Speaking of which, I've got this here that I also like to keep. This here is basically a compass, a shitty compass at that. Little light, one of those like press lights that you have to press on, and it's not even all that good. It doesn't work all the time. It makes a red light. But this here, now at first glance it just looks like a normal like nail clipper or toenail clipper, but if you look underneath, you got a bottle opener. So yeah, this here I would actually keep again in the top compartment. Going along with the theme of like quarantine and stuff and COVID, hand gel of course, hand sanitizer, which will be going with the rest of the first aid equipment. There. This here is another one. It's just like that yellow one that I showed you before. This is another one of those things, like just a tube of fabric that you can then use around on your face. Although this one I much prefer it. And I'm just going to put it here in my pocket for another day. Now this here, I found this at a garage sale a long time ago. This is a whistle. But I absolutely love this whistle. Powerful. And of course, sunglasses. Very important if ever you're going out in the summer. So if ever I were to take this, I would put this around me like this. Now, oh for goodness sake, it's trying to break down again. Sorry. Cordage. This here is just some paracord. Paracord that you can buy, that's not that expensive, and you get a lot of it. Very important. Cordage. There it is. Remember? Like, not that long ago when I said I had a pocket knife? Here it is. My pocket knife. Which of course I don't carry around with me every day. I just like keeping it here. This one cannot go outside. If you look underneath here, it's got a glass breaker point that you can use to break through glass. And then I don't know what this part here is for, although I do think it is to cut through like seat belts. But in case you're ever stuck, you can cut your way out of your seat belt. If ever you're stuck like that in the forest, in the forest. Yes, seat belts are fine in the forest. Yes, you dumb shit, Anthony. In your car. Yeah, this actually I would just like put it on the side like this. If ever you were to go out on a bike, now my bike currently is not operational, so it will not work, but very important, if ever you've got a bike with you, always keep a pump with you to pop up if ever you need to. And now, finally, we've gone through just about everything here, except for one last thing, which is this. This here is my paracord bracelet that I like to keep. Now, this thing, I love it. It's probably one of the best things that I ever bought. This is also a paracord bracelet, so paracord, of course, very important. But then when you open it, normally you're supposed to have like a compass here, but it broke and all the water fell out, so now it's basically useless. On the side here you've got a small little whistle. But then finally here, the pièce de résistance, in between the two pieces that you use to buckle, you've got a magnesium rod, which is one that I use. And I will only use the bigger one when this small one is finished. I love it. I love it. If ever I'm not wearing it around my around my arm, if ever I'm not wearing it, it's probably because I attach it to my bag like this. And yeah, so now finally, I'm going to take off this very quickly. This, I should actually just stuff it in here for a moment. Now, let's close off this part now. Come on. Close properly. There you go. So now, let's take this. Let's put my sleeping bag in. And so, let's finally finish this. There you go. But now, beforehand, I have one last thing to show you. Something that people seem to forget, belts. Well, not people seem to forget, like teenagers seem to forget. Belts. Belts, I absolutely love them, but I don't see many teenagers my age wearing them. So, if we were just to start putting on my belt very quickly. This is a leather belt that I love. I've had it now for over a year now, and it's one of the best presents I've had in a while now. But now, just before you finish here, I have got something that I like to keep, which is this, my scout knife, which is the first knife I ever bought with my own money. The knife that's here, that's dangling, it's a present that I got from my father. My pocket knife was a present I got from my mother's boyfriend. But this here is the knife that I got myself. So, plus the sheath actually has got its own belt loop because it was made for scouts, and part of the scout uniform is to have a belt. So there you go. There you go. I'm ready now to put everything on and to put everything together. So, first of all, my knife onto the side here. Yes, I usually go with 2 knives, but so what? Yeah, and since I'm not at Scouts, I'm not gonna be bothered to tuck my shirt in. So since we're in summer, I'm gonna put on my summer jacket. I'm gonna put on my mask. I'm gonna take my hat. And now, the only thing left to take. Yeah, finally I decided I'm not gonna take my binoculars. Let's close off all the compartments. Close. Closed and closed. There we go. Now, let's pick this up. There we go. And now, buckled in. Looks so stupid like this. I mean, this looks so stupid. Still, yeah, if ever there was a scenario in which I would have to leave the house for 3 days, this here is what I would look like. And also if I were to go out camping. There we go. Except I would probably make sure that my sleeping bag was slightly better. But yeah. There you go. Camping. I'm gonna go off now. See you in 3 days. Goodbye. No, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah. There's nothing in it! Ugh. I'm thirsty actually. But yeah. So, I don't know what to call this video actually. I don't know what kind of video is this. Like an hour-long study of someone just having fun making a survival kit, a survival backpack, a 3-day-long survival backpack with no food or water in it. Yep. This is definitely going to be the longest video ever made. It's not the longest video that I ever spent making. Oh heavens no. I've had videos that I had to make that last way longer than 1 hour. But yeah, anyway. First time I had to do no editing on one of these videos. I haven't had to do that in a long time. So yeah. Normally now I should be going back to uploading one video a week. So anyway, yeah. Thank you very much for watching this 1 hour long madness train. And thank you very much, and goodbye. See you next time.